Good morning.
Hello there.
Holy Saturday, the day between Good Friday and Easter Sunday, is to a large extent the one day on the Christian calendar that is often ignored. It doesn't figure. There's a deep sorrow on Good Friday, and also real gratefulness for the life that Jesus has led, and then joy on Easter Sunday for obvious reasons, Jesus rising from the dead. But Saturday, it's just,
It's almost like you have to get it over with to get to Easter Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the deep meaning and the rich nourishment that is in Holy Saturday, that is often ignored or forgotten, or maybe
not realized.
Not realized. And it is such a special day in terms of that.
What would be the gift in that for us to honor Holy Saturday?
I think if you look at the whole pattern of Easter weekend, the Friday, the Saturday, and the Sunday, it's part of the Paschal mystery. And it is this pattern of our lives. It says, and that is the beauty also of Jesus's life and ministry, it plays into our lives. It's not separate from our lives, but especially over the Easter weekend. In each one of our lives, each one of us, in our lives, there's death, and there's waiting or liminal space, and there's life, resurrection, new life. That's part of being human.
And you're not specifically talking about our own physical death. You're talking about things that ends in our life.
Exactly.
And times where we do not know what the next step is, where we're going, where we're heading, and then new life or resurrection from that which has ended.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then also liminal space.
Yeah.
When nothing happens, it's quiet.
And it's a period of waiting.
And it's a period of waiting.
Yeah.
But what we do is, usually in South Africa, it falls over a long weekend. So usually we make all the day holidays. But often we go to church services on the Friday and on the Sunday, because those are, but the Saturday is
business as usual.
Is business, or even more so, because there's a lot of things to do and activities over the Easter weekend. So we jam pack the Saturday. But looking at it over the Easter weekend, it is this total quiet. And silence. The silence. There's no angel announcement. At that stage, and let's look at the disciples. At that stage, they don't know what is going to happen next.
Whether they will be next.
Yes.
So they're hiding away.
Yes.
The women are keeping vigil at the grave.
Yeah.
But it's just like you say, it's silence. Nobody knows. There's fear.
Yeah.
There's uncertainty.
Nothing stirs.
Yeah.
You don't, and it is so important that we tap into this message of Holy Saturday, because it helps us when we are in situations in our own lives where that happens.
Yeah, yeah.
If we constantly ignore the liminal space in our lives, if we try to cover it up, if we
or to jump that hurdle,
yes,
to get from what ended and just straight ahead move into whatever solution we decide on, and just don't allow for that waiting, for that opening up of what must be.
Yeah. I want to go as far as to say, then we don't have a mature spirituality.
Yeah, yeah.
If we leave that out, and if we ignore it, we much poorer for it.
Yeah, and I think in terms of honoring and commemorating the Easter weekend events, it's also a way of looking at your life with the Paschal mystery.
Yes.
Looking at maybe specifically at what is dying, or what do I need to crucify.
Absolutely.
In my life, what is it that or yes, and to use Jesus's suffering, his time in the tomb, the resurrection, and to apply it to your own life. It's such a rich time where we have the time to do that, where we actually have the time. And it's a great pity, and it's an almost a feeling of depriving ourselves of the richness of Easter if we just take it as another holiday where we have time off to do what we do.
Yes.
Business, like usual.
Yeah. I think what is also important is Holy Saturday puts things in perspective. In one of his books, Eugene Peterson says, it is important, how does he put it? He says, it was critically important to pay more attention to what God does than what I do. And when we fill that Holy Saturday with our activities, we focus on what we do.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're not aware of what is happening, what is God busy doing.
Yeah.
Busy creating, busy resurrecting, busy what happens to a seed when it
germinate.
What's germinating in us?
Yeah. And it's so important what you touched upon. This is such a fruitful time for us to look at our own lives, to apply this pattern into our own lives and listen to our lives, what God is showing in our lives. Maybe we are struggling with something. Maybe there's a birth taking place, but you don't know what is going to be birthed. You're in this space of waiting. And if you skip the period of pregnancy,
in a sense, it's impossible. It sounds impossible.
You can't.
Nothing can be birthed.
No.
Yeah.
So that period, it's so telling that Jesus didn't die on the Friday and he didn't rise on the Saturday. It was the Sabbath. They could have experienced that as a deep message.
The new beginning of the week.
Yes.
So in terms of how would one keep the Holy Saturday? What would it look like in terms of a day retreat if you want to spend it in silence?
I think we've touched upon that already, and what you say, be silent and attentive to what is being birthed in you. And it can be that you're not aware of it. But it is to create a space and a willingness for the new.
Because it will be there.
It will.
Yeah.
It will. And also, it can be a good time, because that is something that we try to avoid as much as possible. To really look our fears and our uncertainties, to look that in the face. And to confront that, because that was a big element during that period. It is, and it's part and parcel of liminal space. What has been is no longer.
Yeah, and I mean, if you think about the disciples and the followers who has deserted Jesus the previous day, they must have been sitting with a lot of feelings of failure, of
regret,
of hopelessness, of guilt. And those are all the things that one would be sitting with.
Yes.
In terms of your life.
Yeah.
That beautiful quote by Thomas Merton, I think that is a good one, touching on that.
Yeah. He says, it is in the darkness, when there is nothing left in us that can please or comfort our minds. Now that is,
sure.
There's nothing left in us that can please or comfort our minds, when we seem to be useless and worthy of all contempt, as you said, the disciples. When we seem to have failed, when we seem to be destroyed and devoured, it is then that the deep and secret selfishness that is too close to us for us to identify is stripped away from our souls. It is in this darkness that we find liberty. It is in this abandonment that we are made strong. This is the night which empties us and makes us pure. And we're going to post this on the blog as well, and another quote by Thomas Merton where it's about the disciples waiting at the grave, and it's this it's a space of being anxious, and now they gather around the tomb, and it's dark.
And the night, Saturday night.
Yeah, and then they light maybe a torch or a candle or a lamp, and it's that flame.
Yeah, that's striking the flint.
The flint.
Stone. Yeah.
And he has a quote about that as well. So we're going to post that, and maybe stay with that. There's a group of people busy with an offline retreat over this weekend, and yesterday we gave the basic outline of Lectio Divina, or Holy Reading again. But last week we posted those elements of Lectio Divina. So read these passages of Thomas Merton against that background, and also the gospel passages.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, and then also maybe to do it with imaginative prayer, where you actually put yourself in those events and see where you feel yourself to be standing. Are you standing by the grave? Are you hiding away? Are you Jesus in the tomb? Where do you feel yourself to be, and how does it feel to be in those circumstances? That has always been to me such a powerful way of feeling into the gospel.
So this can be such a wonderful time of opening ourselves up to God and God's workings in us, in all the aspects, in the death and in the waiting and in the birth. It is really a lovely period.
And I think also to just for yourself, if you read that passage about the flame, just to maybe Saturday night to light a candle and to just sit there in vigil awaiting. There's something about those rituals that makes it so much more powerful, because it plays in on our senses and our full body experience of things.
And what Merton touches upon in that passage is the fire is almost hidden in substance, in the stone.
In the stone.
And when it is struck, the fire springs to light. And it's there, and also God brings that's inherent, or that
seems to be quite dead.
Yes.
Like the stone.
Yes.
But it has the flame inside of it.
It is, and that is what he touches on. So look a little bit at that passage as well. May it be a blessed Easter for you all.
Yeah. Keep well, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.